Alright, we're in round one. This is a little bit of an awkward hand, but we're definitely keeping. We've got a good distribution, we've got our colors, we have a removal spell, so no reason to mulligan. Let us see what we're up against. Okay. So we're going to open with a green source for sure. For the old Swordwise Centaur. Oathsworn. Yeah, that's good. We've got the time to feed too, so that's a good draw. Alright. Battle Priest. Not that big of a deal. Leaf Crown Dryad. That's pretty good, but we're not going to play it. Definitely have to save that for the Oathsworn. No plays. Alright, that's good news. Let's get our Oathsworn out there. Slam him. Next turn we can do the old Leaf Crown Dryad bestow. Seems pretty good as well. Crack in for 5. Guess if he leaves Verdict... Oh, well, he didn't leave Verdict open, that's for sure. Alright, well, definitely going for it. I mean, I could leave Necrobite up for something, but I don't know of any white removal. The only white removal that comes to mind is the one that's like Harm's Way. The name escapes me right now. Alright, so we'll get in for 5. As long as we get to untap, I'm going to feel good. Alright. It's not that bad. I mean, it kind of sucks, but I still got my permanent buff off my Stephenson Oathsworn, so that's pretty good. Alright, so now we'll just swing 3, presumably follow up with Ferrisband Tromper. Unless he's got something fancy. Makes me Necrobite. Still don't know what that could be. I mean, he's obviously missing his mana. Missing his other color. Missing land drops. Alright, looks like he found his blue source. So now I have to contend with Griptide and Voyage's End. Well, I guess I'm glad I hated the first Voyage's End. Alright, Great Heart, certainly not a big deal. Alright. I kind of want him to double block really bad, actually, so I'm going to double attack. See if he double blocks. If I read the bones before, I feel like he's less likely to play around a trick. But if I just swing in, he might just take 6 too, which I'm fine with. I mean, I could have also timed to feed something, but I just prefer doing the Necrobite, I think. Yeah. So I can still... Yeah, he definitely did. Perfect. Okay. So now I get to Necrobite and I get to read the bones. And we kill both his guys and my guy lives. We just don't get the buff on our Oathsworn, but I'm fine with clearing his board here. Post-combat, draw some more cards. Swordwise Centaur seems fine. And we can bottom the other one. Alright, Nemesis as well. And we actually have a creature in our graveyard, so... Yeah, I'd say this one looks pretty good for us. I'd be surprised if he had something that can get around Guild, get around Fatties coming up. Alright, excoriating the Tromper. So maybe he's got a bounce spell of some sort. Traction Helix is not going to do it, but Voyage's End or something like that. I mean, at this point we just play the Nemesis. And if we get a land, play the Centaur too. Alright. So we're going to play Nemesis, Swordwise Centaur, swing for 3. He's still 2 mana away from Fated Retribution, which we did pass, in case you forgot. And we're currently only a mana away from making Nemesis monstrous. I mean, we currently have lethal, so he's got to at least bounce. All right, Chimera. Seems like something we can easily time to feed, although, yeah, I guess he could give God's Willing, but then we'll just gild it. All right, so I think we win either way. We might have to show him 2 cards, but that's it. Pretty much have the resources to do whatever we want here. All right. Looks like game 1 is ours. Admitted. Our opponent does not appear to have that great of a deck. From the cards we saw, Coastline, Excoriate, Stephenson, Great Heart, Ray of Dissolution. This card's fine. Excoriate's fine. All 3 of the other ones are pretty mediocre picks. So just based on the cards we've seen, his deck does not look that impressive. I probably want to bring in the Shredding Winds, though. I mean, white and blue have the most flyers, so that could definitely pan out well for us. What do we want to cut for that? What would be the cut for that? Prefer to not cut a creature. Necrobite played pretty well there, but I mean, it will play well. It doesn't play well against the Excoriate, so maybe that's a reason to cut it. If he's got Divine Verdict, maybe I'll bring it back in. But I think I'd rather just have the removal spell for at least one of the flyers we know he has. I'm glad we hated this from him. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Could do the Sandals, but we don't know how many flyers he's got yet, so let's keep it simple. Oh, this is a great hand. We get to do turn 2 Karametra's Favor. Draw a card, make him lose life. No malls. Otherwise, I admit a little bit of an awkward hand since it's 5 lands, but I think this hand's actually almost skipped his first turn there. That would have been awkward. There's a good one. We get to do turn 4 Asp, too. Alright. Battle-wise Hoplite. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. It is good, though. Wonder if I still want to trade. I think I do. That guy only gets bigger. And I still get to draw a card off the favor. Let's see what we draw. If it's another land, I'm a little concerned, but I still feel like this is a trade worth making. It will bring us a turn behind on the Asp, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine. This thing only gets huge. And I still got to draw a card off the favor. That was an awkward draw. It's definitely an awkward draw. I think we attack. See if he blocks. See how much he's married to that Battle-Wise Hoplite. The thing is, Hero's not that great against him in general. Alright, well, he didn't take it anyway, so... Or he did take it anyway, so that's good. Alright, little Chosen by Heliod. Seems pretty good. You get to scry, you get to draw, you get to scry before you draw. You get a 3-4 or 3-5, or is it 3-6? 3-5. Which is also good. We're just a turn away from our Nessian Asp. Maybe we draw a guild. That wouldn't hurt. Alright, did he leave it on top? He did put it on top, so it's a card he wanted. Let's see if he's swinging or playing it defensive. I assume he's going to swing, but he is behind on the race currently. He's in. He's down. I guess I could get blown out by Triton Tactics, but I haven't seen it yet from him. What do we got? More land. Well, that's not going to do me much. Do me much good. Alright. Not playing around Triton Tactics. If we get blown out, whatever. Alright. No blowout to be had. Next turn we get an Asp, which is pretty good. Yeah, this hand is pretty dreadful, though. I think we've drawn lands every turn. No, we drew an Asp, and then we drew lands every turn, so... Gonna need some actual cards here soon. Because I don't think Asp necessarily stops Battle-Wise Hoplite. Alright, gain some life. That's pretty good for him. 4 cards left in his hand. We're going to slam an Asp, most likely. Be nice to draw some more big threats. Enthusa or something. Definitely not a Forest, though. Forest is actually the last thing we want to draw. Five cards in hand, 5 lands does not look like we're on a fast path to victory here. If he swings, I can't really block very effectively because it tells me he's got a trick. Alright, no attacks. That I can tolerate. Maybe he's sitting on an excoriating hand, so he's hoping I attack. But I'm not going to be attacking for a while. Certainly not until I can draw some actual threats. Hey, well, currently does not have any flyers, so it doesn't seem that useful. Guess he could sudden storm here. That'd be a big deal. He did not. Well, I hope if he plays something, it's a flyer. Yeah, can't do much about that. I mean, I guess I'm glad he did it there instead of in response to me monstrositying it. Oh, that's an easy block. I don't even need Tormented Hero anymore. Alright, let's see if we can draw some more stuff a little more useful than Treading Winds. Just land, huh? Just land. That is not very good. I would go as far as saying it's bad that we're drawing lands. Well, ideally we can just sit behind an Inez for the rest of the game and eventually find some threats, but not sure how realistic that is yet. There's really absolutely no reason he shouldn't swing with Battlewise Hoplite, because I can't kill it on blocks, and I don't want to swing back. So I see no reason why he shouldn't swing with Battlewise Hoplite there. I'm glad he didn't, obviously. For obvious reasons, I'm glad he didn't swing there. But I think there's really I'm more motivated to take it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But now I can at least monstrosity my guy, which I do think I want to do, or try to do at this point. But then he can excoriate. We're going to sit behind it for a little bit. I don't want him to excoriate since I have 0 other threats. Kind of feel like we should have been dead a long time ago, but somehow we've managed to draw lands, a ton of lands this game, and not be dead. So that is certainly strange. Well, he doesn't have Divine Verdict, or I don't know why he wouldn't just attack in. I mean, he's got to have Excoriate, so I'm certainly not motivated to attack with Nessie and Asp. I'd be much happier finding an actual threat here. Oh, that one's pretty good. Let's play the Battle Master here and pass. Let's just build up our board a little bit. Kind of in the mood to do that right now. I think that's more helpful to us at the moment. It's just sort of hanging out. I don't want to get excoriated. I'd rather get in with both my guys and then cutthroat maneuver, gain a trillion life. Approximately a trillion. Oh, Fated Retribution. Alright, well, we did know that was coming eventually. Or we didn't know. We hadn't seen it, but I do remember passing it. So I guess I should have assumed that was what he was going to do. I was playing around Excoriate, and it turned out I should have been playing around Fated Retribution, so lesson learned on that one. If it's a flyer, I hope I can kill it. That is not a flyer. Well, hopefully we can just eat enough time off his clock where it doesn't matter if we lose this game, we'll just win the match. I guess at this point that's what we're shooting for. Wow, that is not a very sexy hand. So our opponent's got Fated Retribution, which does mean that Necrobite needs to come back in. I think we'll just take out the Shredding Wind, I guess. Looked absolutely dreadful this game. I just assumed because he's white-blue that he would be running flyers, but I guess that's not the case, oddly enough. Yikes. This is like the worst hand I've ever seen. We drew a bunch of lands, saw 3 of 14 creatures, and then just all the tricks and spells. So it looks like I'm going to be busting a Shredding Winds on a bird token. If we get any creature, I feel pretty good. I hope I don't eat those words and get some creature that oddly is not good with this hand. More plays. Guess it's in our best interest to actually kill the bird, since it deals more damage. Even though this blocks better. Creature, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cannot say thank you enough. Alright. Death to you. We don't need to do it. Let's just go okay. Whatever. Just need to kill that guy, gain some life, pass. Then we can ordeal next turn. Just get a trillion dudes attacking him. Cutthroat maneuver something. Let me see. Can I, if I do both, that costs me 6 mana. 4, 5, 6. No, looks like the max I'm going to get is 4 extra attackers, which is actually pretty good. Okay, so here's what we do. We play a land, make sure noting the land. So we're going to ordeal her using the land we just played, because otherwise it won't be able to attack, which is what we ultimately want. So we'll make some dudes creatures. And at this point I think we actually just swing, because I could cutthroat maneuver and get another attacker, but I'd rather just kill his Stephenson Battle Priest. I guess technically I can play around Excoriate still, which is probably better. I'm going to play around the Excoriate. I feel like this is a good little engine to have, especially if we're going to be gaining 6 life. Alright, so he Triton Tactics. I'm actually not even sure it's worth preserving a land here. I think I'd rather just have him kill one of my lands and have him take 4. It's not even worth playing the cutthroat maneuver. And he's not even doing it. So my lands aren't going to untap, okay. Well, maybe at this point the maneuver's better because I need to gain the life. Oh, never mind. That's... Well, Indestructible doesn't work with Excoriate either, though, does it? Hmm. Uh... Let's resolve. Doesn't protect against Excoriate anyway. I gotta admit, I'm still kind of interested in playing around the Excoriate. I've been doing it this long. I'm gonna play it here to gain some life, kill his guy. I don't even care. Hold it bay. Jeez. Well, the good news is we definitely beat our opponent. I would be amazed if he could take this game and another one in under a minute. I think that's actually impossible. So, pretty mediocre deck on his part overall. That's not even a big deal. I mean, I could have been attacking with Anthusa. I don't know. Is it wrong? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe in... Huh, that's funny. Well, now I guess I can attack. Excoriate matters a lot less now with the Grave Robber Spider. And he didn't have Excoriate? Well, now I feel a bit foolish. Benthic Giant. Alright. Opponent ran out of time. Like I said, his deck was pretty mediocre. So, I mean, I would say that game was definitely indicative of that since we drew just a bunch of lands and still managed to beat him. Alright, well, I guess I'll see you in round 2.